All right, guys, we do have a Tuesday morning story for you. You're going to love this one. It comes out of New Orleans. You're going to love it, man. This cop. So they went on a call. He walks into a yard. The people's puppy threatens his life. Now I'm going to give you the rest of the story. From WWLTV.com. New Orleans police say the officer who shot and killed a 17-week-old puppy over the weekend has been reassigned pending an investigation. Those who are close with the family and the dog say they are outraged over what happened.
As you can imagine, the owner of the puppy still very distraught. She didn't want to talk to us on camera, but we did speak to a tenant who is staying downstairs at her home, and she heard what took place Saturday night.
My stomach just absolutely dropped on what that scenario could have been.
Heather Clean is visiting New Orleans from Missouri. She didn't want to appear on camera. Heather says she was watching television Saturday night when she heard what she first thought were fireworks.
I didn't hear an announcement of, any police officers arriving on the scene. I didn't hear sirens. All I heard was gunshots.
The NOPD says 2 officers were responding to a disturbance call at a Lower Garden District home along Felicity Street. And when they entered the gate of the home, that's when police say a dog charged them. One of the officers shot 4-month-old Apollo, the Catahoula Hound mix that Julie Barecki Brown says she and her husband had adopted just after Mardi Gras. Julie says the disturbance was a verbal argument between her and her husband. She says police hadn't contacted her yet when she heard her front gate open and then 3 gunshots. When she got to her front yard, Julie says one of the officers repeated, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
This is completely avoidable and preventable. Should never have happened in the first place.
Jeff Dorson with the Humane Society of Louisiana says there's ample training available for police to learn how to handle situations with animals that pose a threat.
There's a perceived threat and an actual threat, and most of the time officers, because of the lack of training, confuse the two.
Julie says it was one of her other dogs, a black-mouthed cur, who was barking at the officers, not Apollo. But she and Heather, who also has a dog, say that's what dogs do to alert their owners.
Dogs are there to protect us. I'm wondering if cops are there to protect us.
The NOPD is still investigating the incident, so we took a closer look at the department's policy on use of force when it involves animals. In part, the policy says officers can shoot when the animal reasonably appears to pose an imminent threat, and other methods aren't available or wouldn't be effective. For WDSU Investigates, I'm Greg LaRose.
The Humane Society of Louisiana released this statement. Police have to realize that 50% of all households have at least 1 or more pets, and many of those pets are dogs. So if they enter the property, they have to expect a dog to be present and will likely bark or growl to protect its owners or property. But that doesn't mean that the dog is vicious or poses a threat. There are multiple ways to interact with an unknown dog that doesn't involve the use of a firearm. One can use a loud voice command, a baton to bat the dog away, pepper spray, or an officer can simply exit the scene and return to the police unit, allowing the owner to confine the dog or wait for assistance from local animal control. Unless the other officer fears for his life or the life of others nearby, is lethal force an option. Often, as in this case, it is not warranted. The shooting of a puppy reveals the serious flaws and defects in the level and type of training our officers are receiving. No, it reveals the flaws and defects in the brain of a cop. Who walks in and just shoots a puppy? What if that was a little toddler running at him with a dog next to it? Or whatever, I don't know. But like they said, all you had to do is yell at it. It's a puppy. All you had to do is spray pepper spray in the air. The dog sniffs it and backs up. Take his baton and wave it. The dog will back. Whoa, hold on. Dude's got a weapon. You don't even have to. When I was in animal control and I was out on the street, I had dogs charge me like out on the street, not in people's yard. We'd go out for a stray dog, and usually dogs run sometimes in 2 or 3. And you go to get one and you hear dog running up and you turn around and the other one's coming right at you. I just took out my baton and waved it, and the dog would stop and start barking at me. I didn't have to shoot it. Didn't have a gun, but I didn't have to shoot it. I just waved my baton and the dog would stop and go, all right, buddy, come on, you want some? But these cops, man, they just pull their gun and start shooting. I remember I walked up to a call, they had a Rottweiler standing in the middle of a yard. And it was a stray Rottweiler. Nobody knew. It showed up in this lady's yard, and she called the police and said, there's a Rottweiler in my yard. He's going to kill me. And when I got there, the police were already there. The dog was standing in the middle of the yard doing this because he wanted to play, right? So as I walked up to the yard, his little nub, because, you know, those of you who don't know, Rottweilers, their tail sometimes is a little nub, and his nub starts doing this. And he... And I hear, and I go, oh, dude, guys, please don't shoot while I'm standing here in the middle of the yard. I thought I'm about to get shot by the police. And as I walk up to the Rottweiler, he's like, his little nub is doing this. I throw a leash over his neck and pull a little bit, and he walks up to me. And we both trot to the truck, put him in the truck, and I took him because he was, you know, a stray dog. We didn't know where he belonged. But the point is, I didn't have to kill him. But I almost got killed, I think. I don't know. I heard shotguns racking. I'm like, whoa, what the hell is going on? And so, you know, maybe these cops need to be trained more on how to deal with, I don't know, threats. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. Community Leo Watch. Watching Leos, that's law enforcement officers to include dog killers from coast to coast.